Let me tell you a story. It's a story about a very modern kind of anxiety and a very, very quiet kind of relief. This is the story of the phone that stopped ringing.
So meet John. That simple little action, right? Putting his phone face down on the dinner table. That's not him being rude. It's not him trying to be antisocial. It's actually a defense mechanism. It's like this tiny little wall he's trying to build between his life and his work. But the fear is always just one little buzz away.
And here's why he was so on edge. You see, John was a landlord. And for him, that phone wasn't about connecting with friends anymore. Oh no, it had become a tether. Every single vibration was a potential crisis that could just shatter his peace. A constant, buzzing reminder that he was permanently on call.
You know, there's actually a name for this feeling. It's called a constant low-grade emergency. It's that background hum of stress that just never ever shuts off. I mean, John used to be really proud of being a reliable property owner, but somewhere along the way, that pride, that reliability, it had kind of morphed into a trap.
And this was the heart of the problem, right? Everyone he talked to, they all said the same thing. Hey, that's just the cost of doing business. But John just couldn't accept that. He decided that if the price of this business was his own sanity, his own peace of mind, well, that was a price he just wasn't willing to pay anymore.
So John felt like he was at a crossroads. Down one path was the usual way of doing things, chaotic, disruptive, the traditional route. But he was looking for another path, a more humane alternative. See, he didn't just want to sell the property. He wanted to exit responsibly, without turning into the bad guy in his own story. He needed a process that actually respected everyone involved.
And then he found it, a potential solution. It wasn't one of those fast, cash for your house now kind of deals. It was something else entirely. The phrase itself just sounded different. Consent-based transitions. It promised a process built on agreement and respect, not on pressure and speed. This was a whole new ballgame.
And this is the moment where everything flipped. The very first question they asked him on the phone wasn't about the property or the numbers or how fast he wanted to close. It was about protection. What do you need this to protect? I mean, just think about that. How disarming and powerful must that one single question have been? It reframed the whole thing from a financial transaction to a human one.
John's answer says it all, doesn't it? His concern was twofold. Yeah, he needed to save himself from completely burning out, but he was just as worried about protecting his tenants from the fallout of his decision. He wanted to protect his own sanity and their stability.
So how did the company respond? Not with a sales pitch. They responded with a plan, a railing, something to hold on to, and every step was designed to get rid of the uncertainty.
A clear plan for communication, respectful ways to notify the tenants, having lawyers handle the closing professionally, and a clear written offer with absolutely no games. This was the architecture of a peaceful exit.
And the result of all this planning? Well, it was intentionally, beautifully boring. And I mean that in the best possible way. In a world that's usually full of high-stakes negotiations and last-minute drama, the biggest success of this whole process was its complete lack of surprises. It was predictable, it was calm, it was professional. It was exactly what John needed.
And this right here, this is the climax of the story. And it happens in total silence. It's not some loud confetti in the air celebration. It's this quiet, deeply personal moment of realization. He's at dinner, his phone is on the table, and for the first time in what felt like forever, the absence of a buzz was matched by an absence of a flinch. That physical tension he'd been carrying around for years, it was just gone.
You know, we often think of relief as this huge, explosive moment of joy, like fireworks. But sometimes, real relief is so much quieter than that. It's the peace that finally settles in when all that noise of anxiety just fades away. It's about reclaiming a space in your mind that used to be occupied by panic. It's silence.